Hey folks, it's Russ Matney, and today we are going to refurbish this gate. A lot of you have this problem. You got old gates that just don't look good anymore, but I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to show you how to make them look like new. Stick around. Okay, the next step, we're going to stain these slats, and the reason that's next is we want drying time on it. So these things can dry while we're doing the other work. So I've just gone up against the garage because we need a smooth surface. And you can see what I did. I'm just leaning. I put plastic up there, plastic on the ground, and we're going to stain these things. And once they're stained, then we'll continue with the process. Okay, the stain that I'm using is from Home Depot, about 10 bucks for this quart. This is a red oak stain. That's what I like on these slats. So you can see that I've stained the upper half. And now I'm going to get down here, and I just use, this is a chip brush. Chip brush is something to throw away. I just don't like washing out brushes when there's oils and stains on them. And you can get this at Home Depot. It's about $1 or $2. When you stain these things, make sure, it's really important to do the sides right here, because the stain is for looks, but it's more importantly for protection, so from the weather and the elements. So make sure that you stain the sides as well. So we're going to continue this, and then once we get this done, then we're going to rip the old ones off and put these things on. Okay, so the new slats are stained. While they're drying, we're going to start doing our prep work. We're going to remove these slats. Now, the easiest way, if it works for you, just take a crescent wrench or a socket set, go around. These, you can see, these are really rusted, and I'm having trouble with these, so I'm going to show you the next best way. All right, you just take a hammer, like that, because once you remove, you can just break these slats out. You can throw them away anyway, and that gives you enough room to put some pliers on the back end of this, and then a crescent wrench or a socket here. All right, and that's the easiest way to do it if you're having trouble getting these things off. Okay, so all the slats removed. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a palm sander, and I got a 150 grit sandpaper on here, and we're going to sand this thing down just like this. All right, we're going to continue that for the whole thing. Not a big sand job, but maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we'll wipe it down, and then we'll be ready to paint it. Okay, so we got the ironwork cleaned up. I put plastic down, and we are ready to paint this thing. Let me say something about the plastic and paper. You know, you need to get to the edges, and we've got a little bit of wind blowing about maybe 8 or 10 miles an hour that direction. So I've put about 12 feet of plastic out there because I don't want to be doing any more work to clean up her walkway. And I took an old tarp and put it against this wall. All right, the paint that I use, this is from Home Depot, Rust-Oleum. I use a gloss, and this is in black. And I'm going to show you how to do it. One of the keys is do not overpaint on the first coat. You want 2 light coats instead of 1 heavy coat. And again, the wind's blowing a little bit. You may be able to see it here, so let's try this out and see what happens. And that's how you want to do it. You don't want to push it and hold. You want back and forth, back and forth. Just light coat, and then we're going to come back with another one. All right, so you can see the wind blowing this thing right now. And it's all blowing that way. All right. Now, I used to set this up and use my big spray rig with black, and it doesn't take long, but there's a ton of waste. And I've found that this paint is actually better because it's a rust preventive. So Anyway, we're going to do all of this. We're going to do 2 light coats on it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we got the gate painted. We did 2 coats. Second coat does not take long in Arizona. It dries really fast. So we got both coats done. Now we're going to cut the slats. I need a 57 and 7/8, which is right here. And we're going to mark this and then cut it. Okay, and we're going to do that with all the slats, and then we're going to put them on. Okay, so the next step is we're going to add these slats. You can see the gate now. It looks great, the ironwork. And I've got 1 slat already cut and put in there. Here's what you use. This is a 1.5 inch carriage bolt. You can see what it looks like. Galvanized. It's really important that you use galvanized because it will not rust like stainless steel will. So what we're going to do is do 1 slat at a time, and I've already drilled the holes in. I put it in, I put the slat in, drill the hole, go in like so, and then you're going to put a lock washer on it. It'll keep it tight. Oops. Well, if I can get it here. And then you put that nut on, you're going to tighten it up. You put it on all 3. And then once you tighten that one, you'll make your way all 6. By the way, I didn't mention, you can see that this slat is a 5 inch and this is a 3.5. So I had to cut these down. You'll need a table saw for that. So this one and this one, we had to cut down. Okay, folks, here's the finished product. That looks pretty dang good. All right, you can see the stain. This is a red oak stain again. You could choose the stain that you want. If you want a lighter stain, in this particular case, this customer wanted a darker stain like that. I think it looks great. You got the black iron and new hardware. That's really important. Do not use the old hardware. It's not worth saving a few bucks. This just makes a big difference. All right. You can see all the detail. It just looks beautiful. Big difference from what it was a few hours ago. All right, folks, and that is it. So that showed you how to refurbish a gate from start to finish. Here's what you've got to do. You got to make some time for it. You got to plan. I would budget pretty close to a day. I've got 5 hours into this thing. And I do them quite often. This is probably, I've done 30 or 40 of these things. So it's going to be pushing a day. This gate, a single gate, about $100 worth of supplies. If you have a double gate, you're going to double your cost. And if you have a double gate, you're going to double your time too. So for me, it's about 5 hours of work. A gate like this, I charge about $450, $500 for everything. But it's something that you can do. You need some tools though. You've got to have, and you saw in the video, you got to have a sander, a saw, a table saw, a drill, obviously. And I think those are the only electric tools that you'll need, I believe. But give it a shot. You can do it. If you want to save a few bucks, you can do it. If you need my help, give me a call. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you.